Yo, what's good, guys? So today we're watching Can You Upload Your Mind and Live Forever? We all know the answer, but let's see this. Personally, I wouldn't want to upload my mind and live forever because there's no fun in being a mechanic and being a computer. Sure, you're gonna feel programs and all that stuff, but aside from that, I don't want to be injected with any wires, any USB cables. I want to be just human. If you could live forever as human, that'd be cool, but you can't. Sucks, but that's life.
The desire to be free from the limits of the human experience is as old as our first stories. We exist in an endless universe, only bound by the laws of physics, and yet our consciousness is trapped in mortal machines made of meat. With the breathtaking explosion of innovation and progress, for the first time, the concept of leaving our flesh piles behind and uploading our minds into a digital utopia seems possible.
Well, what about the
logical
souls?
Next step on our evolutionary ladder. Is it possible to upload your mind into a computer? Well,
How would you
it's
do that,
complicated.
even? How would you even do that, to be honest?
Upload what exactly? Mind
Yeah.
is one of those words that are really hard to define. It's thought to be the collective abilities of your consciousness and intelligence, the thing that lets you imagine, recognize, and dream. Mind uploading is the hypothetical concept of making a copy of this inner world and transferring it into a computer to run a simulation of your consciousness. But even defining the premise gets really hard, really fast. The possibility of mind uploading is based on three assumptions. Assumption 1, your mind is in your brain's structure, arrangement, and biochemistry.
But how do we know we're uploading the mind, though? It's so many questions you can ask when it comes to this sort of stuff. Mind uploading. It does sound kind of cool because you're like, yo, I can live in a computer, upload my mind. It'd just be a clone of you, really. Because if you can upload your mind, sure, but unless they're gonna take like your actual information, and then what's gonna be left is like basically a husk, just a dead shell over there. They took all the thoughts away in that little USB-C that they have. Aside from that, I don't see how you can clone your thoughts without being a clone. Just cloning your mind. That sounds so. Yeah, this mind upload stuff. Yeah, keep that away from me. Definitely don't want to do
The
this
idea
one.
that everything about the mind can be found in the brain is called physicalism, and it keeps our discussion within the domain of natural law. Assumption 2, at some point, we will understand the brain well enough and possess the technology to simulate all of its aspects to make a digital mind copy. Assumption 3,
So humans won't
computer
live forever.
software
They're
can
just
host your
clones.
mind, which means the mind is computable. There is no physical property in the brain, including consciousness, that cannot be simulated accurately, even if it requires a lot of code. All of these assumptions have been proposed and challenged by scientists and philosophers, and they remain the subject of passionate debate. With so many fundamental questions still unanswered, it's hard to discuss the topic without annoying someone. What
Well, with this mind upload stuff, what if someone's like autistic and they don't want to be autistic in their new scientific body? Because, like, I'm sure a lot of people don't want autism because, I don't know how that feels, but I guess it feels different. But once you get your mind, if they could upload your mind and they copy whatever, all that, and they transfer it to the computer, and that computer is autistic now. So what the hell? I'm sure this will be only available to rich people and all that stuff, but still, this mind upload stuff, there's so many like factors. Are they gonna fix your mind before they put it in the computer? What if you're a psychopath? What if you're this? What if you're that? So many questions with this. And how do you know they're uploading your thoughts? You could just be uploading shock waves from your neurons. It's a lot of funny
every
stuff with
opposition,
this
every
science.
discussion of mind upload has to begin with the brain. The brain in a nutshell.
In a
brain is the
nutshell.
most complex biological structure known and deserves its own entire video. So let's just take a brief look at it.
Yeah.
Around 100 billion neurons
Sheesh, how are you gonna upload those?
billion connections that are sending signals up to 1,000
What?
times each second, which is 1 quadrillion events every second of your waking life. And it's not just neurons, there are billions of supporting and immune cells of various types performing different jobs. On a macro level, the brain can be divided into sections with different roles, from breathing and heart rate to coordinating movement and involuntary reflexes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, one quick thought. I just had a quick thought real quick. If they're gonna upload your mind, because your mind works the body, tells the body what to do this, do that. If they upload it in a computer, your mind is basically useless now, because your brain, I mean, it's not going to be telling any cells do this, do that anymore. It's just there. That just feels kind of useless, doesn't it? Or does your mind now have access to the computer and can control it, or can allow you to control the computer? I'm kind of curious with that. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
The most developed parts, the neocortex, or the outermost layer of the brain, hold memories, our ability to plan, think and imagine, hope.
Oh yeah, you won't be able to
Exactly
pee
the
anymore, I
new part
guess.
of the brain is situated is not entirely clear. We know that areas like the precuneus cortex have the greatest influence on our consciousness, but also that several areas can network together to share tasks none of them can do alone. The brain's building blocks are not exactly simple either. Neurons are not just wires, they alter and process information. Synapses, where signals are handed over from one neuron to the next, contain receptors for hundreds of chemical signals, opening them up to outside influence. We have a basic understanding of how these work, and we can accurately predict their behavior at small scales, but there's a lot more to the brain than just nerve signals. Hormones play a huge role, like serotonin, which affects our mood, or histamine, which helps us learn. The brain is
Hormones.
influenced by our other parts too, from heart nerves to gut bacteria. What seemed like a
Ooh.
very complicated system to begin with gets even more complicated the more we learn about it. To get this wildly interconnected mess of cells and meat and chemicals into a computer, we need a model that we can simulate in our digital world. Some sort of scan. Unfortunately, our scanning technology, like fMRI machines, is not nearly good enough to attempt such a thing. But there
At
is a
all.
different method that seems very promising. Cutting a brain into tiny slices and scanning them with a high-resolution electron microscope to create an accurate map of all the cells and connections.
Bro, what? Okay, bro, science sounds kind of cool, but if you're gonna start slicing the brain little by little to scan it with your microscope, at that point, just bury the guy, bro. Like, not a lot of people love life to this point where they want to, like, go through all this and that. Well, sure, if they're in hell, I'm sure they want to come back. But then again, look, it's weird, though. If you upload your mind, you're dead, though. That person is dead. They just want to use your clone. Like, let's say we just had Michael Jackson's brain in a computer. All of a sudden, Michael's dead, so it's just a computer version, a clone of him left. It's not even him. Sure, he's gonna say, yeah, I'm Michael Jackson, bleed it, all that good stuff. But that's about it. Like, sure, he's gonna think like Michael Jackson, though. But it's a clone, though. It's not the original product. And I can't, a lot of you are gonna be like, okay, but that just sounds like it's him, though. He can think, imagine, all that stuff. But it's just not him. I don't know how to say that in other words, but it's a copy of his mind, I guess. But how would the original work, though? That's a question I'm asking myself. I don't even know. I'm just chatting at this point. Let's just see.
In 2019, scientists successfully mapped a cubic millimeter of mouse brain, roughly the size of a big grain of sand. It contained 100,000 neurons with 1 billion synapses and 4 kilometers of nerve fibers.
These guys need a real
This
job,
grain of
bro.
brain was cut into 25,000 slices.
What? A grain?
Tubes ran continuously for 5 months, collecting more than 100 million images. It took 3 months to assemble the images
Wow.
into a 3D model. The completed dataset fills up 2 million gigabytes of cloud storage. To scan a whole
No wonder I'm out of iCloud thing.
repeat this effort 1 million times, which is much easier said than done. Even worse, to correctly simulate a brain, we might even have to map out much smaller building blocks to include the billions of underlying proteins or even individual molecules that cause all the behaviors we see at the cellular level, which might produce more data than the capacity of all data storage on Earth. Brain data to consciousness wine. While all of these issues are annoying, the real question is how we turn the static blueprint of the brain into an active thing.
Oh, and the thing is, with all this brain cloning and all that stuff, we kind of want to do it like right away, because I know the brain, you don't want the person to die, or let's say a person's dead, for example. Oh shoot, will it still work if the guy's dead, or do they have to like clone your mind before you died? Because if they clone your mind, look, if they upload your mind before, like, okay, let's say they upload everybody's mind at like age 40, so before you die or before they die, that means that person won't have memories from after anything happened to them. It'll be like, oh, I just got reincarnated. It's weird. Obviously this would be for like rich people. The kids in Africa, nah, they're not gonna have this technology. But instead of having to live forever like this in a computer, I'd rather these guys focus on cloning. Because cloning, but then again, we don't have powers, bro. I feel like just let people die, man. Let people die. There's a lot of women able to give birth. I'll contribute when I can and start making babies, but we don't need a bunch of humans on Earth right now. We're almost at our max capacity anyways. So slow down with this cloning stuff. We don't need a bunch of computers. You're gonna see Hitler in a freaking computer when they bring him back, and all of a sudden he's like, I remember Jews. He's gonna start saying some crazy stuff. Yeah, so this mind upload. Oh no, they can't bring back dead people that died in the past because they gotta upload their mind. Okay, I kind of see. Too much chatting. Let's get back to the video.
Down to the level of synapses, we need laws and rules that animate the wiring diagram to endow this static structure with life, update it with the various laws of chemical binding, of electrodynamics to animate the simulation. So it becomes a dynamic, active thing like a brain that exists from 1 microsecond to the next, that can evolve in time, think, see, and act. The reality is that we just don't know if this is possible to achieve.
It's probably not.
Technology can give rise to real minds. It all hinges.
Then we're just gods at that point.
Are the brain and mind just complicated and a lot of work to figure out? Or are they complex in a way that we can't solve? In the worst case, consciousness is more than the sum of the parts of the brain in a way that we don't realize yet. Complex in a way that we can't solve by getting better scans. Just having a list of the ingredients might not be enough to get a good consciousness cake. Right now, we have a great starting point with tangible scientific results and an end goal, but the road to true simulation is unclear and requires a lot of innovation and research. Humans have historically been horrible at predicting the pace of progress. In the best case, it's just a matter of doing the work and finding the right solutions. It might not be necessary to simulate every last cell down to the last atom.
Yeah, I saw this human-pig hybrid that's being made in Chinese labs, and I always wonder, they're claiming that it's to get parts for these cancer patients and people missing lungs, hearts, heads, brains, eyes. It's all for growing those parts. So when they make these hybrids, what happens when these human pigs start thinking? They're like, yo, I want to live too, dog. You didn't make me to just give my parts to humans. Or what if they're stronger, like let's say like a eagle human that's like it can freaking fly and it's like it has double the strength, or like a lion human. Or like those anime hybrids, it just becomes into a mess like that, and they take over, and then all the humans are like slaves. All right, too much chatting, but like you get the point. That sort of stuff is yeah, human on human, that type of stuff. I like that, not human on animal. I'm not really a big fan of bestiality because, like, why are you gonna give a pig human sperm? Like, I know you're trying to like do science and all that stuff, but let's save the earth first before going into this organ mystery. Like, let me cut this pig up so I can get human organs. Nah, man, I'm not interested. No.
Instead, it may be possible to simplify elements into probabilistic models that could match the behavior of the brain using a more manageable number of simpler systems.
Simpler?
So we really
then that
don't know
means
if
you
we'll ever
could get
understand the
hacked.
brain and consciousness well enough to upload human minds. But the science is real and worth pursuing. At the very least, we will just learn a lot about ourselves and develop a bunch of new technologies. If we succeed, this might put mind uploading well within the capabilities of our rapidly progressing computer technology. The consequences for humanity and our future in this universe are vast, creepy, and amazing.
Can't
The
imagine
copy.
this.
Successful mind uploading is functional immortality. Unless damaged or deleted, you will continue to exist as long as a copy is stored somewhere. Of course, if the scan is corrupted in any of a myriad of ways, your mind might get corrupted too. You might be in an eternity of pain or paranoia, or having an endless psychotic breakdown. The question if this digital mind is you opens another whole can of worms. For now, we'll just assume that your digital mind at least feels like it's you. How would mind uploading change your outlook on life? Will you feel safer knowing that death is not necessarily the end? Or
Well,
would you
if that's the
push
case, then I'd be a
yourself to
bad
avoid dying
guy.
before your mind is uploaded? If scanning
I'd be a
technology
bad
does
guy.
become advanced enough, your biological and digital versions could coexist. Help
What?
each other out by making your biological lifespan more enjoyable and the future of the copy more secure. Whatever
What?
happens, your mind copy will begin a completely new life once it opens their digital eyes for the first time. Having a
you
functional
have
body is
memories.
actually quite nice, and you're pretty used to it. Food, love, pain and exhaustion, all of these things are parts of us that we must live with. But in the end, they are the result of neurons firing in your brain. So while you could decide to live in a simulated body, it might be optional for a digital mind. Falling in love might lose meaning if you can have it at the press of a button. Instead, you might end up searching for new extraordinary experiences. Walk on the surface of the sun. Speed up time to skip past a few boring months. Experience a simulation of the past. Your perspectives and priorities will change as you continue to exist in this liberated form.
Nah,
When
man, I'm
digital
not
minds
feeling this
exist,
one.
Eventually they will likely gain greater knowledge of themselves and an ability to change their own contents. This can be as simple as deleting a memory that bugs you. You might change aspects of your personality, like grudges, addictions, or laziness. Without the constraints of biology, your
But why? Like, I know that sounds all cool and stuff, but laziness, like procrastination, all those like traits, they kind of make us human. Like, if you all of a sudden deleted like no more laziness, no more this and this, no more holding grudges. You're literally a bot now, like a robot. All of a sudden it's like, oh, go to work, gotta go to work. Being lazy is kind of like, it gives you the fun aspect of life. I'm not encouraging this because to like, if you take it to the max, of course it's going to be bad. But if you're just lazy once or twice, it's good. You're just being a regular human having fun in life. Once you delete that being able to be lazy part of your brain, you're working all day. You don't know when to have fun. Also, holding grudges, you kind of need to, because some people need to like not be forgiven and all that stuff.
Priorities might move up as technology progresses, while your priorities or goals might become more and more foreign to your original brain if it's still alive. waking up to the true potential of digital immortality will be gradual. You can start projects that would take more than a lifetime to complete. Scientists could accumulate an incredible amount of knowledge, leading to discoveries that could revolutionize the world.
Oh, this is,
Adventurers could put
whoa.
themselves onto small spaceships and embark on journeys to the stars, just putting themselves on pause for thousands of years at a time. Although it's unlikely that every digital mind will work for the benefit of humanity, since our current meat versions don't do that either. Some will seek power and influence.
Obviously, but then again, look, with this mind uploading stuff, so imagine you, like, okay, like a guy, you know, he kills you, and then, you know, they upload your mind, blah blah, they bring you back. You see the guy that killed you, he also dies, he can also die and get re-uploaded, blah blah blah. So it's literally like an endless cycle of you being killed over and over again if that guy hates you that much. So there's no like guarantee. So with this it said as long as you have a copy of your mind, you can boot it up. Imagine just getting hacked, bro. Just hacked in the head, and it's just basically like sexual harassment to like people who get mind uploaded. Someone violated my head, my privacy. Well, I'll leave that to the mind uploaders. Keep doing what you're
Will have a
doing.
literal eternity of trying to create empires. Others will begin hoarding as many resources for themselves as possible as they compete with other minds trying to do the same. The longer they live, the less sympathy they may feel for simple meat beings. Or imagine immortal cult leaders who propagate lies and invent religions, fine-tuning and perfecting their dogma over hundreds of years. Or perhaps none of all that. Maybe our minds are not made for immortality, and digital minds will just become rigid and unproductive and retire after a very long life, having experienced everything they could ever want to. It's hard to predict how much good or bad a self-improving mind could do with hundreds or thousands of years of free time.
Not gonna lie, it might sound.
When we think about
It might sound like, oh, living forever is cool and all that, like having your mind uploaded is cool. But then I feel like, man, sometimes we all need a break. Like dying is our like permanent break. It's like, sure, you're on Earth all this time, but you gotta die. Sometimes it's like I'm not even upset about it anymore. When you think about this, it's like death it makes us equal. Like there's no, oh, that guy's white, let me not kill him, or that guy's black, let me spare him. Death is like, yeah, I don't care if you're this and that, even a baby, I'll take you guys. So I mean, we kind of need death in this life. Also, without death, like all these, like it'd be so weird, bro. Like imagine seeing freaking like Hitler and all of them. Oh, he wouldn't have killed the Jews though, huh? But yeah, all that. But yeah, it'd just be weird. Just no death. The Earth would be too packed. I know that. I mean, we'd probably be on Mars and all that stuff. But yeah, we kind of need death down here. Just yeah, some people need to go, man. And even if they don't need to go, you know, it's just like, it's just life. We gotta see God someday. You feel me? But yeah, have a nice day.